First one that I thought of, comfortable shoes. Make sure you have very comfortable shoes, even if they cost a little more. I would really invest because Tijuana is a walking mission, and it has lots and lots and lots of hills. And so your feet will hurt every single day, and if you go more for style than for comfort, you probably will regret that. And as for clothing, I would get really lightweight, wrinkle-free clothing that's easy to take care of and wash. And really just, look nice but feel comfortable, because you will be, jumping on buses, and you will be walking around town all day. And sometimes you will be on a bike in other cities. As for, safety, I would just make sure you stay with your companion. The mission rules are there to protect us. And honestly, I didn't ever feel unsafe there. And so if you're in the lighted areas, if you're with, members, we always try to have a member present with us at night, you'll be fine. And I would say really trust your mission president. If anything does happen, don't be afraid to just let him know, even if it was something that just scared you, because he and the sister mission president, his wife, they are there to help you and to protect you as well. And so I really trusted in them and whatever guidance they gave us, even if it was go in a couple hours early today, we did it and we felt great. As for just well-being and health, I would exercise every single day. Even if your companion, doesn't do it as much, just getting moving in the morning, I really felt that helped me. There were times when I did it more intensely than others, and that I really saw a difference when I did do that. And just be smart. See, the only thing that I thought of with awkward situations in Tijuana, in Mexico in general, they greet each other with a kiss on the cheek. And it doesn't matter which gender you are. And so lots of people, the members know that we don't hug the other gender, we don't do those things with the other gender. And so they don't come up to us and do that, but other people will. They'll come up and try to greet you with a kiss, or they're just very loving people, so they'll try to give you a hug. And you have to be kind of careful the way you deal with it, because you don't want to offend them by saying, don't hug me, you can't do that. But you have to let them know that, as missionaries, we don't do that. And we just try to stay away from those things for those 18 months or 2 years. And so I found myself in a couple awkward situations with things like that. But, if someone accidentally just hugs you, then you just, explain, sorry, I don't do that, and it'll be fine. But that was the only surprising thing that happened to me. While I was there, actually, they had us wear pants for 4 months because the mosquitoes got so bad that I think in many different countries and missions, they had the sisters wear pants because the mosquitoes were so bad that they were carrying viruses and things like that. And so to protect us, they had us cover up as much as we could. But no one in my mission got sick from it. And so that was kind of an interesting thing that we had to do to protect ourselves from sicknesses. But other than that, I think I just had the common cold once in a while, and that was fine.
I think the most important is to have good shoes. You always walk. You don't drive. You don't have a car. You just walk. And so it's good to have good shoes because you're always on your feet. And I think having good airy clothes that, because it's really humid and hot there, so you sweat a lot. So it's good to have clothes that you're comfortable in, and that you're able to wear around and walk around in. And everyone tells you to be really safe. The sisters are very well protected in Mexico by the mission president and by the elders and by all the members, because it can be dangerous, but if you're smart, then nothing happens. So I think just being aware of your surroundings and seeing the people that you're talking to and kind of just scoping things out and just being smart. So where the sisters were, like, we weren't in any dangerous areas. I've heard from the elders that they, like, experienced more things with people that were selling and doing drugs. But, like, I was never, like, in a dangerous place. Like, in Culiacan, that's where, like, all the, like, drug lords live, because that's the more rich part of my mission. So, like, it can be dangerous, but if you're smart, like, you won't see anything, or you won't be a part of anything. I remember when I was on my mission, I just barely got there, and El Chapo, he's the drug lord of all of like the drug cartel in Mexico, was captured. They found him in a hotel that was like a few blocks away from where we lived. So that was kind of interesting. I didn't understand because I just barely got there, but it was just kind of funny. Like, nothing bad happens, but things happen.
When I first started buying clothes, I'm from California, so there is no sister missionary mall or anything like that. I bought a lot of my clothes at Old Navy, actually, and Kohl's, and I think Target as well. Old Navy and Kohl's are probably the best places, honestly, to find things. Even Ross sometimes had some really good deals for, like, nice, like, kind of longer skirts and things like that. Old Navy had some really good skirts as well, I remember. You know, it can get pricey, so you have to try to find the deals that if you need that, but at the same time, like, it's an investment. I mean, you're going to be wearing them for 18 months. You're going to buy clothes out in the field as well, so you have to watch for that, but oftentimes there's not a lot of modest options, especially depending on the country you're serving in. But we always found something, so if we needed a new skirt or shirt or whatever to supplement our wardrobe, you know, there was a time for that on P-Day, and we would go look for things, and, you know, we found some good deals and some good things down there. Things are very much cheaper in Mexico. So there are some things that you can wait to buy when you're down there, but you shouldn't do that for a lot of things because that's kind of a risk. It's kind of a gamble. But for sure, make sure that you have a lot of clothes that are interchangeable. A lot of skirts and shirts. There's a very big windy season in Chihuahua, and don't have a lot of fluffy skirts during that season. You know, pencil skirts are the way to go for that season. I don't think that the pencil skirts can be super tight, so just make sure that they fit, like, nicely and correctly, but aren't, like, you know, overtly tight or anything like that. Packing advice as well. Your suitcases, I think, have to be under a certain weight limit, so that's an issue as well. So make sure that you're getting things that you really need. And they'll send you a packing list with your call anyway, which was very helpful for me. I mean, bug spray is a must, and sunscreen is a must because there is a huge season of just mosquitoes, straight up. Like, after it rains, it's still hot, so the rain will kind of, like, evaporate and leave these, like, puddles or these, like, moist spots, and, like, mosquitoes just run rampant in that stagnant water. And so, I mean, there were days when we came home covered in bites, like, all over. Just hundreds. I have pictures of them that are awful. So definitely sunscreen, bug spray, things like that. You know, cool and warm clothes. So you're going to need skirts that are lightweight and shirts that are also very lightweight. Obviously still modest, right, because you're a missionary, but, you know, in the summer it gets just extremely hot. So make sure that you're finding things that are appropriate for the weather changes. Make sure you have enough layers for winter because it does get very cold in the winter as well. Umbrella's a must, you know. Safety tips during the rainy season, specifically, there can get some pretty bad flooding in the streets. So make sure that you're never walking through any of, like, the canals systems or anything like that in the city because people have been swept away in those. So that's not a good idea. Make sure that you never go anywhere without your companion. Obviously follow the mission rules. Don't drink straight out of the faucet, the water, unless you want a parasite. That's just the reality of things. The water system there is not the cleanest, which is why, at least when I went out, they gave us water bottles specifically that filtered our water before we drank it. So you can put, like, water from the street in there and it will filter it for you and you'll be fine. Don't really recommend that. I mean, tap water is fine, putting it in that bottle. Your president will explain that to you. The packet that you get when you serve as well will explain that to you. But, you know, make sure that you're very aware of that. And if you do have to take a deparasiter, which they make us take, I think, every 6 to 8 months, and you take it as companions because you both have to do it at the same time, or one of them could infect the other person or something like that. So when you do take a deparasiter, it's very, very, very important to remember to also take some sort of probiotic. when you're done with the deparasiting process. Because what the deparasiter does is it wipes out good and bad bacteria from your entire system. And what you're going to want to do is replace the good bacteria, or you will not be able to digest things later, and it's going to be painful and it's going to be terrible for you. I wasn't lactose intolerant before my mission, and now I am. And it's my doctor is LDS, and he was telling me, this happens a lot with foreign missionaries. They don't properly take care of themselves after either deparasiting or, taking antibiotics or whatever it is that wipes things clean in your system. And so you have to make sure that you keep a balance. Make sure that you're just trying to eat healthy, but make sure also that you are taking care of the balance of your system and taking the necessary precautions, before spicy food, maybe eating some like papaya or some kind of fruit that will like soothe your stomach, or, make sure that you're taking these probiotics. And you can get drinkable probiotics. You can also get probiotics in pill form, and they help worlds with the things that you're going to need for digestive health and everything like that. Your feet are also going to get a lot of blisters because it's an all-walking mission. Make sure you have comfortable shoes. Cute is out the window for shoes. Clark's has some cute but comfortable shoes. I don't know about many other brands. I used Clark's my entire mission, and they were a godsend. They were utterly wonderful shoes. They lasted for a very long time, and they were very sturdy, and they were very thick-soled, which is so helpful for your foot and leg and hip health, especially as a woman. Like your joints, just, you have to take care of your body. So the proper footwear is very important for health and safety as well. Definitely don't get flimsy shoes. It's not worth it. You'll also have a lot of rocks come into your shoes throughout the day. You'll get used to walking with rocks if you don't want to keep taking them out every 5 steps, but worth it. It's fine.
Don't try to be fashionable. I mean, you can, but pencil skirts, don't bring them. You won't wear them. Bring skirts that allow you to take long, wide steps. Not long, wide, just long steps. Because you will be walking everywhere, and you will be walking fast. There were times that I ran from one side of my area to the other because I had to get to an appointment, and if I had on a skirt that didn't allow me to do that, it was very frustrating. Get a good pair of shoes. Like I said, I had a pair of Clark's that lasted me my whole mission, so that was really nice. Also get a good coat. My coat was waterproof, and that was awesome because it rains a lot there, and during the winter, every single day there will be fog. So you'll wake up to fog, and it's very thick and kind of just looms there. And when you're walking around in fog, you're just basically walking through water, and so having a waterproof coat really helped me. Have a good pair of boots, ones that are comfortable, and it would be preferred if they were waterproof. Mine were not waterproof. It does rain a lot there, and they don't have an irrigation system. So all of the water just pools onto the streets, and you end up sloshing through water, and your feet get wet. And so mine weren't waterproof, and so every night I would have to get out the heater and dry my shoes, which was not very fun. And sometimes we would have to wrap our feet in grocery bags and then put our shoes on so that we wouldn't end up with wet feet. I would also suggest just buying clothes. This is going to sound really weird, but buying clothes that won't really show sweat marks, because if you are walking around during the summer, you will be sweating a lot. And you'll walk into someone's house and you'll just be dripping with sweat, and it's not very attractive to have sweaty armpits or a sweaty back, or you can only have messenger bags with a side strap, and so you generally get a big sweat mark right here. And so just having shirts that don't really show sweat, or that don't show sweat during the summer, that's really nice, because then you won't feel self-conscious, and it just helps you to look a bit more put together.
Sisters, but also elders on this first one. Get really good shoes, because in our mission, you walk everywhere. You will never have a car or a bike, and you will walk all the time. And if you have bad shoes, your feet can get hurt, and it's not pleasant, and it could end up escalating, and you could go home early. So just really take care of your feet and get good shoes. Comfort and safety is way more important than them being cute. And as far as clothes for sisters, I would not get anything super expensive because you're going to get tired of it because you wear the same 6 outfits all the time, and you might just want to go buy new clothes eventually. And also, it gets really dusty and windy in the fall and in the spring, and sometimes you're just walking and you are getting completely covered in dirt all day, and that happens to your clothes, so it's just not really worth it to have really expensive clothes, but try to look nice. Get used to the fact that your hair is probably never going to look very good because it's really windy, but maybe find some good updos so that it's not whipping you in your face all the time when it's windy. And yeah, those are my big ones, but take care of your feet. Really take care of your feet and just your overall health. For the most part, sisters are really kept in the safest of areas in our mission. But even then, if you're out just towards the end of your proselyting day going home, sometimes there will be drunk guys on the street and it's dark, so stay off of the dark streets as much as possible, be in lighted areas. I would always walk with my phone in my hand, and I'd often have it open to my president's contact information, so if anything happened, I could just call him immediately without having to find his number, but I never had to. People will catcall, especially if they're drunk, and sometimes they'll try to speak to you in English if they're drunk, because a lot of them have heard some English, they're on the border. They're really drunk if they're trying to speak to you in English, so stay away from them. And they'll catcall, and they'll yell, "Güerita," which is like white girl, but just ignore them and keep walking. And yeah, don't talk to them unless you really feel guided by the Spirit that you need to talk to drunk people. It's not worth it because they're not in their right mind, and that could be probably the most dangerous thing. Love your companions. I was with only 2 American companions for a total of less than a transfer. It was 5 weeks total with American companions. And I got a great experience being with all other companions from way different cultures. And it can be hard because it's the littlest things you might not think about that you have different opinions on, and then they can build up, and it's easy to get irritated with people. And just take the opportunity to try and see your companions as their Heavenly Father sees them, and to love them and serve them like He would want you to. And that's how you can get the best work done and really bless your companion's life.
You sister missionaries are all-stars. You're the best. Not every girl does this, so you're one of the strong ones here. Clothing and packing device. The most important thing, I would say, are the shoes that you bring to the mission. I use the brand Clark. Like there's a brand called Clark's, and those are the most comfy and durable shoes that I've ever found. So I'd recommend those. You're gonna want to bring some sort of tights or legging type things because it kind of gets cold at times, and it's more comfy as you ride bikes and stuff. You want like biking shorts. Just drink a lot of water and you'll be fine. And when you don't feel strong, you feel really weak in your body, we'll call the mission president's wife. She'll help you with that. I got sick like maybe 4 times on my mission, diarrhea and stuff like that. I think 24 hours of that, and you're up and running again the next day. It's kind of something that you should expect, but you shouldn't worry about it at the same time. It's all a part of the Mexican experience. Don't drink the water out of the faucet. Always get the garrafones, or the big tubs of water that you can buy. And always have a water bottle with you. That's the most important thing health-wise, I think. Safety tips. just use their common sense, mostly. The people won't bother the missionaries. They might say a couple harsh words, but they won't do anything to harm you. I was never robbed or anything. I felt safe the whole time. The Lord does something to protect us as missionaries every single day. I remember going around with members, going to visits, and she would tell us about the drunk people that we would pass by, or weird situations that would happen next to us. We would have had no idea. We had no idea that those things were happening, because the Lord really puts that focus in the missionary work within us when we have the desire and when we pray for it. So all the rumors that you hear about Mexico, don't worry about those things. Worry about the people and your purpose there, and you'll be just fine. You'll be happy and healthy.